road into the unknown. Morning light slowly spread across the forest as Aaron and Lyra continued their journey. The air smelled of pine and damp earth. Birds sang high in the branches. But despite the peaceful sounds, Aaron felt uneasy. Everything in his life had changed in a single night. Yesterday, he was a villager. Today, he was apparently the guardian of a legendary magical flame. Aaron walked beside Lyra along the narrow dirt path. "So," he said after a while. Lyra glanced at him. "So? You seem very calm about all this." Lyra smirked. "You mean about running from soldiers, chasing ancient legends, and protecting a magical flame that could destroy the world?" "Exactly." She shrugged. "I've had stranger mornings." Aaron stared at her. "You're joking." Lyra continued walking. "Only a little." The Western Road. After several hours of travel, the forest finally opened into a wide dirt road. Stone markers lined the sides. Broken wagons and old tracks showed it had once been heavily traveled. Lyra stopped and looked around carefully. "This is the Western Road," she said. Aaron looked impressed. "Looks like an ordinary road to me." Lyra shook her head. "It used to connect 5 kingdoms. Merchants, travelers, knights, everyone passed through here." "What happened?" Lyra's expression darkened slightly. "The Black King happened." Aaron frowned. "You mean Kael Draven?" Lyra nodded. "When he rose to power, entire regions fell into chaos. Bandits took control of roads like this. Now only desperate travelers use them." Aaron looked down the empty road. "Well, that's comforting." Lyra smiled. "Don't worry, I have you." Aaron raised an eyebrow. "That's supposed to make me feel better?" Lyra grinned. "Much better." A suspicious wagon. They had only walked a short distance when they saw something ahead. A wagon stood in the middle of the road. 2 horses were tied nearby. Several wooden crates were stacked beside it, and leaning against the wagon was a man. He wore a long traveler's coat and a wide leather hat. A sword hung casually at his side. He seemed completely relaxed, too relaxed. Lyra immediately slowed. "Something feels strange," she whispered. Aaron nodded. "Yeah, he's staring at us." The man lifted a hand in greeting. "Morning, travelers," he called. His voice was cheerful, almost too cheerful. Lyra whispered quietly, "Stay alert." They approached slowly. The man stood up straight. He had sharp features and confident eyes, the kind of face that belonged to someone who always had a plan. "Well now," he said with a grin, "2 travelers on the Western Road? That's rare these days." Lyra crossed her arms. "And you are?" The man placed a hand dramatically on his chest. "Darius, professional traveler." Aaron frowned. "What does that mean?" Darius shrugged. "It means I travel professionally." Lyra did not look amused. "Or you're a bandit." Darius gasped dramatically. "I am deeply offended." Then he added with a wink, "Only occasionally." Trouble arrives. Before Lyra could respond, a distant sound echoed down the road. Hooves, many hooves. Aaron turned toward the sound. A group of riders appeared over the hill. Black armor, crimson symbols. Lyra cursed under her breath. The Black King's soldiers. Darius straightened instantly. "Well, that explains the tension." Aaron looked at him. "You knew they were coming?" Darius shrugged. "I saw them about 10 minutes ago." Aaron stared. "And you didn't say anything?" "I was waiting to see if you were interesting." Lyra drew her sword. "Are you planning to help or are you planning to watch?" Darius smiled. "Oh, I definitely plan to help." He drew his sword in one smooth motion. "Because if those soldiers catch me, I owe them money."
The fight on the Western Road. The soldiers rode closer, 10 of them. Their leader shouted, "Stop where you are!" Lyra stepped forward. "Get behind me!" Darius stepped beside her instead. "Actually, I'd prefer standing next to danger." Lyra glanced sideways. "You're strange." Darius grinned. "I get that a lot." The soldiers dismounted quickly, weapons drawn. Their leader scanned the group. Then his eyes landed on Aaron's hand. The silver mark glowed faintly. "There he is," the leader said. "Take the boy." Lyra stepped forward. "No!" The soldiers charged. The battle erupted instantly. Steel clashed. Dust exploded into the air. Lyra moved like lightning. Her blade cut through the air with deadly precision. 2 soldiers fell in seconds. Darius fought differently. Loose, effortless, almost playful. He spun his sword and disarmed a soldier with a flick of his wrist. Another attacker lunged toward Aaron. Aaron raised his sword. This time, it wasn't wood. Clang! The steel rang loudly. The soldier pushed harder. Aaron struggled to hold the blade back. Fear surged through him. Then the silver mark burned again. Energy rushed through his body. Aaron shouted and shoved forward. A burst of silver light knocked the soldier backward. Darius whistled. "Well, that's impressive." Within moments, the remaining soldiers realized they were losing. Their leader shouted, "Retreat!" The survivors mounted their horses and fled. The dust slowly settled. After the battle, Aaron leaned on his sword, breathing heavily. That was terrifying. Darius laughed. "You handled yourself well." Lyra looked suspiciously at Darius. "You're very skilled." Darius shrugged. "I used to be a knight." Aaron blinked. "Used to be?" "Yes." "What happened?" Darius sheathed his sword. "I discovered that kings are terrible employers." Lyra crossed her arms. "And now?" "Now I go wherever interesting things happen." Darius looked directly at Aaron. "And something tells me your journey is going to be very interesting." Aaron exchanged a glance with Lyra. Lyra sighed. "We're heading toward the Skyfall Mountains." Darius's eyes widened slightly. "Really?" Lyra nodded. "We're searching for the Temple of the Silver Flame." Darius leaned against his wagon. "Well, that sounds incredibly dangerous." Aaron nodded. "It probably is." Darius smiled. "Perfect." A new companion. They sat beside the wagon while Darius poured water from a small flask. "So let me understand this," he said. "You're chasing a legendary magical flame." "Yes," Lyra replied. "You're being hunted by the Black King, correct? And neither of you knows exactly what you're doing." Lyra paused. "More or less." Darius laughed loudly. "This is the best adventure I've heard all year." Aaron looked confused. "You want to come with us?" Darius pointed at the road behind them. "Well, if I stay here, those soldiers will probably return with friends." Then he pointed toward the mountains. "And if I go with you, I get to witness history." He smiled confidently. "So yes, I'm coming with you." Lyra looked uncertain. Aaron shrugged. "We could use help." Lyra sighed. "Fine, but if you slow us down, I'm leaving you behind." Darius placed a hand over his heart. "Your kindness is overwhelming." The next step of the journey. The 3 travelers prepared to leave the Western Road. Darius gathered a few supplies from his wagon. Lyra studied a small map. The Skyfall Mountains are still several days away. Darius nodded. "We'll have to cross the Whispering Forest first." Aaron raised an eyebrow. "That name sounds concerning." Darius smiled. "It should." Aaron groaned. "Fantastic." Lyra rolled up the map. "Well, adventure rarely takes the safe path." The 3 travelers began walking down the road together. Behind them, the abandoned wagon creaked in the wind. Ahead of them, the trees of the Whispering Forest rose like a dark wall, and deep within that forest, something ancient was watching. Their journey had only just begun.
The edge of the forest. By late afternoon, the road had narrowed into a thin dirt trail. Ahead of them stood a massive wall of trees, tall, ancient, their branches twisted together so tightly that sunlight barely touched the ground beneath them. This was the Whispering Forest. Even the wind sounded different here, soft, hollow, as if the forest itself was breathing. Aaron slowed his steps. So this place is actually called Whispering Forest? Darius nodded casually. Yes. Why? Because people say the trees whisper. Aaron frowned. That sounds like the start of a horror story. Lyra stepped forward and examined the forest. Her eyes narrowed slightly. The stories are not entirely wrong. Aaron groaned. Great. Entering the ancient woods. As they stepped beneath the trees, the world changed. The light dimmed instantly. Shadows stretched across the ground like long fingers. Moss covered the stones, vines wrapped around ancient tree trunks, and everywhere there was sound. Not loud, not clear, but constant. A soft whispering that moved through the forest like distant voices. Aaron turned slowly. Okay, I definitely hear something. Darius nodded. Most travelers do. What is it? Darius shrugged. No one really knows. Lyra spoke quietly. Forest spirits. Spirits? Yes, ancient ones. They have lived here longer than any kingdom. Aaron swallowed. And they're friendly, right? Lyra hesitated. Sometimes. A warning from the trees. The deeper they walked, the stronger the whispers became. Leaves rustled even when the wind was still. Small lights flickered between the trees like tiny floating stars. Aaron pointed at one. What are those? Darius squinted. Spirit lights. Aaron looked worried. That doesn't sound safe. Lyra raised her hand suddenly. Stop! They froze. Lyra knelt down and examined the ground. Large footprints were pressed into the mud. Deep, heavy, fresh. Darius whistled quietly. Well, that's not good. Aaron looked confused. What is it? Lyra stood slowly. Something big lives in this forest. Aaron stared at the enormous tracks. How big? Darius pointed at the size of the footprint. Big enough to eat horses. Aaron's face went pale. Oh,
The creature in the shadows. The forest suddenly went silent, completely silent. The whispering stopped. The birds stopped. Even the wind stopped. Lyra whispered one word, "Run." Before Aaron could ask why, the ground trembled. Branches snapped behind them. Something massive moved through the trees. Aaron turned just in time to see it. A creature stepped out of the shadows. It was enormous, twice the height of a man. Its body was covered in dark, bark-like skin. Glowing green eyes stared from a twisted wooden face. Its arms were long and powerful like tree branches. Aaron whispered in horror, "What is that?" Darius answered calmly, "That is a forest guardian." The creature let out a deep roar that shook the leaves. Lyra drew her sword instantly. Defensive positions. The battle with the guardian. The creature slammed its massive arm into the ground. The impact cracked the earth. Aaron barely jumped aside in time. "Why is it attacking us?" he shouted. Lyra dodged another strike. "Because it thinks we're invaders." Darius rolled under the creature's arm and slashed its leg. The blade barely scratched its bark skin. "Well, that's concerning," he muttered. The creature roared again. Its eyes glowed brighter. Then it charged. Aaron raised his sword, but froze in fear. The monster was too big, too strong.
Lyra shouted, "Aaron!" The silver mark on his hand suddenly burned. The power surged again. Silver light spread across his arm. Without thinking, Aaron raised his hand. The light burst forward like a wave. The creature stopped. Its glowing eyes flickered. The silver energy wrapped around it like threads of light. The giant monster slowly lowered its arms. Then it stepped back. The forest became quiet again. Darius stared in amazement. Well, that's new. Lyra slowly lowered her sword. The silver flame, it can calm ancient magic. Aaron looked just as surprised as they were. I didn't know I could do that. Darius grinned. I'm starting to like traveling with you. The Hidden Shrine. After the creature disappeared back into the forest, the whispers slowly returned, but they sounded calmer now, almost welcoming. Lyra looked around carefully. The Guardian wasn't just protecting the forest. Aaron frowned. Then what was it protecting? Darius pointed through the trees. There. A small stone structure stood hidden beneath thick vines, an ancient shrine, half covered in moss. Carved symbols lined the walls. Lyra approached slowly. Her eyes widened when she saw the carvings. These symbols. Aaron stepped closer. Do you recognize them? Lyra nodded. Yes, they're the mark of the Silver Flame Temple. Darius raised his eyebrows. So we're on the right path. Lyra examined the stone altar in the center. There was a circular symbol carved into it, the same shape as the mark on Aaron's hand. Lyra looked at him. Place your hand here. Aaron hesitated. What if something explodes? Darius shrugged. That would certainly be exciting. Lyra rolled her eyes. Just do it.